K-Kona's in the chat, guys. Happy fucking 4th of July to everybody who's fucking American in the audience. And if you're not an American in the audience, fuck you. Even though both my co-hosts are not American, but you know, you guys are okay because you're here.
Yeah, dude.
Yay, America.
We're here.
And
this is the most professional stream ever. Dude, okay, just so you guys know, during the intro, Annie's like, I accidentally had us unmuted before the intro played. Some of you guys heard that. I muted us and we were good, and he's like, okay, you should unmute us so that I can talk to the people through the intro. And I thought he was serious, and then and SWEGTA is like, unmute us so we can sit here and spew some Nazi rhetoric over the intro. And you guys probably heard just him saying something about Nazi rhetoric.
Mask off.
So I just wanted to clarify.
One of these days, there's going to be like an Underhaven out of context, and they're going to have plenty of fucking material, because some of the shit that we say out of context is fucking insane.
I made a flattering comment to Tim Ryan one time. I don't think we included that on the channel. I hope not. The views and perspectives fucking espoused by SWEGTA are not represented by the remaining hosts on the show.
When you said that, I was just like, okay, man, I know I'm probably going to have to edit that out of this fucking video. I was like,
see, this is why I don't get high during the show, because like I'll say all kinds of fucked up shit.
So here's why Underhaven.
As I'm sitting there smoking a joint, I'm like, Tim Ryan's not gonna fucking watch this. And then I realize, like, oh wait, I'm actually more famous than Tim Ryan. So maybe we shouldn't fucking include that. I'm also, by the way, this is something that Animancer brought up to me in private. Libertarian Party has a Discord server. Not only does like an old bully server that I had have more members than that one, but I mean, like, just like overall, I'm like way more fucking well known than any social medium that they have. Discord, fucking Facebook, Twitter. I'm just ahead of the curve. It'd make more sense to like have me be the face of it, because like you've tried Vermin Supreme, you've tried all of these different people. It just doesn't jive. Maybe you should just give SWEGTA a chance.
Jay, you know the name of the Libertarian candidate?
The SWEGTA Party 2024. Yeah, unfortunately, SWEGTA's not a citizen.
Even if I was like born in the US, I'm 23. I had to like remember my age for a second.
Maybe you can endorse a candidate.
I mean, I did endorse Yang, so there's that. And I actually, I recruited some people into supporting Yang.
Yeah, why do you think Yang got so big, dude? It was the fucking Sweg crew.
Yeah, but that's a good point, because it wasn't until like I told people about Yang that he blew up.
You informed me on Yang.
I didn't know who Yang was before you either, man. So hey, Jay, I think that Yang owes his entire fucking political career to SWEGTA.
He does, dude.
The Libertarian candidate's name is actually like Jo Jorgensen or something like that.
What? It sounds like a fucking cartoon character from like the Powerpuff Girls or some shit.
Jo Jorgensen for president.
Jo Jorgensen.
That's not gonna happen, dude.
I might be voting for Jo Jorgensen.
We've confirmed today that at least dozens of voters have prematurely muted from being able to voice opinions on Howie Hawkins' official live streams. Censoring public opinion? Does that sound like a president to you?
Does these like YouTube Q&As to like usually the tune of like 30 fucking people on fucking YouTube. His YouTube channel is incredibly fucking pitiful. He gets barely any viewers. But apparently even like some of those viewers are getting fucking blocked.
Can I just point out, by the way, this actually does sound like a president to me. This sounds like the president. This sounds like exactly what our president would do.
The Green Party isn't exactly like a huge fucking base to begin with. It's fucking absolutely minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Like, we can't afford to like be losing people and like cutting people off just because they currently support Jesse Ventura.
Why were they blocked? Because I mean, like, you know, if they were like, I politely disagree, I don't think like Howie Hawkins would be like, censor that person now. To me, this seems more like, fuck Howie Hawkins, and they got blocked. I don't know which it is. Does it elaborate on that? Is there like an article we could look at? I don't feel comfortable talking about if I have no idea why they got blocked in the first place.
So I've seen a lot of fucking tweets like this, and I've also noticed that, you know how you can now like hide replies on Twitter, like if people are saying things that you don't like? A lot of the fucking tweets that I found happen to be like in the hidden fucking replies. Maybe if you can scroll down far enough on this one, you'll see some hidden replies. I haven't really seen them until recently, like originally, because the majority of replies on like Howie Hawkins's tweets at this point seem to just be Ventura people who are fucking pissed off. Look, it's just like, fuck you, LOL. Damn, dude. Oh man, dude, this is really fucking crazy.
Why did you rig the primary process in your favor?
Howie Hawkins could rig it. I mean, like, he would have won by now, so I don't know what the fuck this person's talking about.
No, I'll agree with the Jesse Ventura people. I do think he would be a way better candidate. I don't don't understand why the fuck he didn't just run.
I do totally fucking agree. Like, he should have run and tried to get the nomination. For him to just, like, expect to be handed the fucking nomination by Howie is just absolutely fucking absurd. And the fact that his followers want him to do that shit is also equally fucking absurd. And this is not the election to have this fighting up around the party.
Same thing with Biden, where, like, he's the chosen one and they just hand it to him. You're not going to be able to have the base that you need, which is a base of enthusiasm and full support. With Biden, it's like he's the lesser of two evils. With Ventura, it would be like he's just entitled to that. I mean, whatever. We don't need to like reach out to people and convince them or anything. We just hand it to Ventura. No, if you have a third party, you need as much enthusiasm as possible, and you're not going to get that if you do this.
I actually brought up 2 points during this where I was like, oh yeah, well that's what the DNC did. I think I said it twice, and I think that actually highlights why this is such a problem. We don't need a third party that's doing exactly the same thing as the 2 main parties. Then we just might as well stick with the 2 main parties. We need a third party, something that's like a refreshing, like, holy shit, you know what? They actually have some good policies, and they actually have some good fucking people running for them. Right now, it looks to me like the Green Party is just a fucking joke.
It was already a joke in 2016 because, like, look, Jill Stein had a lot of fucking problems too. She said some really fucking stupid shit. I think she has her heart in the right place.
Sure,
like,
I feel like she had her shit together a little more than this.
The same thing I said about the Democrats in 2016. I was like, it can't get worse than Hillary. It did. All the parties are putting out their worst fucking showing for this election. Worse than they've shown in fucking years.
Isn't it just kind of sad how an anti-vaxxer can get more support than someone who just like blocks people on YouTube?
I saw a lot of conflicting information. I also saw Jill Stein come out and say at one point that she's not an anti-vaxxer.
I remember her kind of like flirting with that, at least.
Well, I mean, the majority of anti-vaxxers are fucking redneck hicks, so I don't really I mean, it does cross the political spectrum.
I'd say, like, no, the majority of anti-vaxxers, in my opinion, I mean, like, there's no official website we can go to where it's like, here's a government study on this. But in my estimation, I think a lot of them are just like middle-class fucking Karen. A lot of that shit is like shared on Facebook in places where like boomers tend to congregate.
Yeah. I always saw it as more of like a hick, like anti-science thing. Like if you don't believe in like
that's obviously a side to it, but I think the majority of it, or at least half of it, is just like Karens.
Yeah. Jill Stein did praise Fidel Castro when he died. I'm pretty sure that's been taken out of context.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, she like called him comrade or something like that.
Comrade.
So she's gonna do that, but she's not gonna call out anti-vax bullshit because it's like, oh, it might, you know, turn people off from supporting me.
Yes, comrade.
Okay. So Jo Jorgensen only won about...
I'm sorry, I saw Vermin on Supreme like listed as one of the top people.
Here's the fucking thing, though. Jo Jorgensen only won about as many fucking contests as Vermin Supreme.
I can't take that dude seriously. I really fucking can't, dude. What a silly fucking
dude, person. America needs the boot. So back to the Libertarian primary.
Anyway, let's continue talking about this party as though they have a chance in fucking hell of succeeding.
I'm trying to determine which party I want to vote for here, man.
Sure, I know. Like, me riffing on them never winning, I'm not saying people shouldn't vote for them. I mean, like, vote for whatever you want. But it's difficult for me not to be amused by that.
So Jo Jorgensen didn't even get much more of the vote than Vermin Supreme. But have you noticed that the one person that neither of us, like none of us here even know about this person, but more fucking votes than anyone else, but they weren't selected. And want to know why that is? Well, this is just a bunch of fucking pageantry because the Libertarian presidential primaries are non-binding. They just pick whoever they want.
And that's not a good start. If like I said, the whole point of like this party is like the two-party system has failed. It's not representative of the will of the people. And then it's like, by the way, vote which one you want. And then people do that. And it's like, okay, we got it, but fuck your votes. We're going to pick this person.
Yeah, they really are just the DNC at this point. So what's the difference?
I will say, though, when I first looked at this page and I saw who was fucking winning, I was like, ugh, what, this guy's probably going to win, this Jacob Hornberger guy? Hornberger? President Hornberger? They're going to try and sell me on this Jacob Hornberger guy. If your last name is Hornberger, don't fucking run for president.
Run for like McDonald's fucking mascot or something.
Yeah. You know what? Can I just make a long shot prediction for a second? Just to put shit into perspective a half a second. I predict it's going to be Biden no matter what.
I'm not voting for a third party expecting it to win. I just want to get them on the fucking debate stage.
None of these people have a chance. And we really are we're not voting for a president here. We're voting for hey, let's make this party a little more viable so that it might be a thing in the future, which still could just have no effect.
I think the only vote that doesn't matter is if you're voting for the two major parties. That's why I'm so fucking conflicted about which third party to vote for, because it's undeniable that my values align way more with the fucking Greens than any of these fucking libertarian fucks. They have a much better chance of getting into fucking office and getting past that threshold, so especially with Howie Hawkins, like the Greens are tearing each other apart this election cycle.
Would you really want the Libertarian Party, though?
They're not gonna win.
Sure, but sure, I see how it could maybe help the Green.
Then the Republicans are fucked, if you want to look
Sure.
at it that
Well,
way.
sure, but then in the next, I think the Republicans are fucked anyway. I think after Trump, the Republican Party is a dying fucking party, and the only thing that reinvigorated them was Trump. Without another Trump, I don't know how they're gonna fucking survive.
Well, combine that with the Libertarian Party. If that gets bigger, then they're completely fucking boned. The
But
right
if
in
we
this
have-
country is never gonna get behind anything. Not gonna happen.
I agree. I probably would prefer libertarian Republicans to regular Republicans. They're still right-wingers. If I was voting this election, I'd just write in Bernie as a protest vote and be done with it.
I ain't voting for Bernie.
It wouldn't be because, like, I believe in Bernie anymore. It would just be to make a fucking point. Like, no, the people wanted, but in fact, honestly, if the people in this country were fucking smart, if we could actually organize everyone to, yeah, we're just all gonna write in Bernie. Fuck what everyone's, we're writing in fucking Bernie. And if it doesn't work, well, then it'll be Biden. But at least we all fucking tried. But not enough people would be willing to fucking do that. I would do it either way. People wanted Bernie, we said Bernie, so fuck you, here's my protest vote.
But yeah, ass. I'm glad Hornberger didn't fucking win, though. I don't fucking like that guy. I don't know, he looks like the antagonist in an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
He does.
Yeah, he's like an evil scientist who's like, oh, they can communicate with them. I have to kidnap them and fucking dissect them to see what this is all about.
Exactly. You know what, though? Vermin Supreme's meme of a vice president, he was actually selected to be the vice president for Jo Jorgensen. So, I mean, Jorgensen.
I feel like that would just be like having a king and a jester. Like, you would just call out the jester to, like, entertain the masses if they fuck up royally and they need, like, a distraction.
You have that Jo Jorgensen tweet I sent you? Yo, Yogi, yo. He's smarter than your average bear.
Okay.
Connect with the campaign and join our official Discord. They've got an official Discord server.
Okay, I'm gonna play this again because it's fitting.
Yeah, why does something tell me that even the Underhaven server is probably doing better than this one?
Yeah, it's probably more active than this fucking thing, yeah.
Probably is.
Dude, that fight, like, there was like a Discord server that somebody made where like they wanted to dox me. That fucking had more activity than this shit.
Wanna know why I wanted to bring this up, though? I mean, you can just take a look at her profile, too, to kind of illustrate my point a little bit more, but she is a lot more successful on social media than Howie Hawkins is. Clearly seems more interested in trying to make tweets about actual policies and shit, whereas, like, Howie Hawkins is just on this board of being like, oh yeah, Trump's bad, Trump's bad, Trump's bad. I don't agree with a lot of what she has to say. There are some things I do agree with her on, but at least she's actually giving her policies and she's trying to, like, be more involved in social media and actually tweet as herself rather than everything being run by a social media team. That's something that really bothers me about how everything on that account is clearly run by a social media team. It's not actually tweeted out by himself.
There's no humane side to it where it's like, here's me connecting to you as like a fellow citizen. Instead it's like this detached, I don't know, it feels impersonal. And
I can tell that everything that Yang tweets out is something tweeted out by him.
you can tell like when he's getting pissed off because he'll like spam people with data and stuff and be like, here's me corroborating my claim. It's like, I like the fact that that's like angry Yang. Yangry. He's like, here's a bunch of sources that fucking back up my point of view.
I mean, if Howie's blocking people on YouTube and shit, like, that's still not a good look. It's just gonna make people come back on alternate accounts and just troll you a million times harder until they end a fucking time. There's no way to really win with those fucking Jesse Ventura trolls, but he's not doing it right.
I'm laughing because like you say that because like I've dealt with people like that. Like I used to there was somebody in my chat, Alex Jones 5, and they got blocked for like spamming, and then like they came back as Alex Jones 6, and it just kept going. Like they kept making new accounts. As a quick aside, at one point they came back as like Alex Jones 29. They got blocked, and they come back as like Alex Jones 78. I'm like, no, you can't just do that. You have to like make a new account for each fucking time you come back. And he's like, oh, okay, and he just fucking followed what I said. But yeah, if you block people and you have like 30 viewers, I mean, like, how many people are you gonna have? Like 20, 25?
Apparently the Spike Cohen guy was a controversial choice for BP because, like, there's pictures of him, like, humping stuffed animals or something.
Wait, what? Can we see that? I mean, you can't just mention that and be like, let's proceed. Like, let's fucking have a look at that. I'm gonna Google that. Spike Cohen.
Just look up Spike Cohen You'll find weird pictures of the guy.
I can't find it. It's like
If I can't find it for this episode, I'll like find it for the next one. It's a fucking weirdo. Dude, that's our future vice president, everybody.
he should have had like an American flag tattooed to his chest and be like, oh.
Bless America.
I've just been like looking over this chick's tweets. Does she strike anyone else as maybe possibly a bit of a Karen?
I saw her bio. She's a hockey player. So there you go. How many Karens are hockey players?
That's true. A hockey mom.
Hockey mom is close to a soccer mom, dude.
Yeah, but she's got a Discord server.
Okay, but if you had to be like stuck in an
I don't
elevator
trust
with
her.
like a hockey mom or a soccer mom, you'd pick the hockey mom.
Oh, definitely, but I still don't trust him.
You don't trust him. Damn, dude. You're a bigot, Jay.
Yeah, dude, I'm sexist.
End the war on drugs, Jay.
Did she say that?
Drugs. Yeah, she said that in one of the tweets that you just looked over recently.
I gotta agree with that. I don't know. I don't agree with all his shit. Some of his shit seems kind of out there. You know what? Anything's better than the establishment, so...
There's some of her policies there, I think.
Pardon all non-violent offenders of victimless crimes. Okay, dope.
Yes.
Repeal
Good.
all laws for victimless crimes. Depends what you mean by victimless
I mean, like that depends.
crimes.
It's like, you know, that you could argue that like tax evasion falls into that. You have to pay into the system that we all exist under for it to be maintained.
End qualified immunity for law enforcement.
It basically means that like, you know, you can't fucking like sue cops for, you know, harassing you or shit, unless it's like really severe and they lose their job. They basically have immunity towards like a lot of the repercussions that you would face.
Oh yeah. End the failed war on drugs. End the militarization of police.
Yes.
End civil asset forfeiture.
Legalized theft from the government.
Legalized robbery by cop.
It's heavily fucking abused.
Taking our guns.
Mandatory minimum sentencing. That's also good. What's the ATF?
Oh, it's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. It's a federal law enforcement organization in the U.S. Department of Justice. Its responsibilities include the investigation and prevention of federal offenses involving unlawful use, manufacture, or possession of firearms and explosives. You know, fucking Joe, like, we gotta talk. This is not...
Yeah, I'm not... See, that right
I might
there.
have the wrong ATF listed, but I mean, like, this is the first ATF that popped up when I Googled it. Illegal trafficking of tax evasion and alcohol and tobacco products. I agree with, like, the drug shit, but I mean, like, as far as explosives and tax evasion, maybe you should have an agency of the government that, like, prevents that from happening to the best of their fucking abilities.
I think they just don't want alcohol, tobacco, and firearms to be taxed.
Okay, well, just say that then. Don't fucking get rid of the organization.
Yeah, I get saying, like, abolish this government organization is kind of trendy right now. At the end of the day, you can't just, like, you have to be more specific, okay? You can't just say, let's end this. End it.
Reform it and have it, you know, conduct itself in a way that you think is more suitable to the times we live in. Like, you could have it, you know, attack explosives, lay off the drugs, lay off all this other shit.
So Hyun, who's a very left-wing person in our audience, says that to end the ATF.
I want to know what she means. I want to know why she wants to end it. I want to know what it does and what... You can't just say that. Like, no one knows what that means.
I do want to do like an entire libertarian episode at some point, so maybe we'll take a look at their website and policies and shit.
She says, I support the repeal of laws restricting the right to bear arms, including red flag laws, which is, I don't know, just the ATF, whose sole purpose is to enforce unconstitutional laws. As far as, like, the constitutional argument goes, nobody fucking cares. The government doesn't care about that. If they did, they wouldn't fucking spy on you. They wouldn't try to, like, restrict what you can and can't say. They wouldn't have, like, police, you know, fucking stomping on protesters and shit. Fuck off with this constitution shit. I understand why people make that argument, but it's ineffective, it's meaningless. Again, like, if you're gonna abolish the ATF, there's gonna be, like, consequences of that, because this is an agency that's just not, it's not solely responsible for quote unquote enforcing unconstitutional laws. They're to fucking, like, partially prevent terrorism and shit.
I'm worried when it comes to the firearm thing. Oh, well, they also prevent people from having unlawful firearms. It's like, wait, so, okay, I get the alcohol, tobacco thing. Let that shit be free. Let people do whatever they want. But guns are a different fucking story. So if you're gonna talk about, oh, we want freedom, I get that. But now you're talking about guns, and that's what makes me worried. I want more gun restrictions, not less. And the fact that she's a libertarian really makes me want, like, I don't think she wants to restrict guns. In fact, I think she'd probably get rid of whatever restrictions she could that already exist.
Even when we're trying to escape two-party dichotomy, and when it comes to voting in this country and go vote for a third fucking party, we're still left with two fucking choices at the end of the day, the right-leaning party and the left-leaning party. Isn't it funny? It's kind of like a microcosm. Just another version of the two-party dichotomy, except, like, one's truly right and one's truly left in this case. The Green Party is way behind the Libertarian Party. Try comparing the fucking tweets of Howie and Jo Jorgensen. Difference is fucking huge.
By the way, I wanted to point out, because Hyun makes a good point, most of these alphabet agencies have too much fucking power, and I will agree with that. And I do think, look, having one agency that is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, kind of retarded. How about we tear that down? We have a Department of Firearms. She changed my mind. I agree with her. And the ATF. It's because, you know what? I'm not against abolishing shit as long as you have something to replace it with.
Well, she's just calling it unconstitutional and leaving it at that.
That's the thing I don't like, because when they talk about unconstitutional in regards to the Second Amendment, it gets a little, we gotta remember, guys, the Second Amendment was written in the time of fucking muskets that took like a half an hour to load, okay? Not in the time of automatic fucking rifles and nukes. Military-grade weapons that people think that they should just be allowed to own. For what purpose? You want a gun for your own personal protection? Fine. But what do you need with explosives?
Before I fucking forget, I just want to make it clear. There's nothing in the law that says you can't own a fucking tank here in America. You can.
Yeah, but, you know, if you buy a bunch of parts and assemble a tank, all of a sudden, you know, the cops in your local area are going to be kind of curious.
Yeah, and then they're going to use it for themselves.
Yeah. We're gonna use this to liberate the streets.
Oh, that'd be awesome. They should make a tank called, like, the Liberator. Like 5,000.
Just like when cops seize people's drugs and they do it at the fucking, police house. They'll use that person's fucking tank and they'll use that at the police house, too. Just like they do with people's weed. You know, all the fucking drugs that those cops abduct, they do it back at the police house. They're getting fucking high as shit and then going and putting black people in jail just for selling a couple of...
Like, we've seen that. There was, like, an instance of, like, cops heading into this weed shop. Went in with, like, a SWAT team and shit. Get on the fucking ground! You know, and, like, the owners are just panicking and shit. Fucking forgot that there was, like, one camera still recording them in the shop. And you could see, like, the cops just kind of, like, chuckling and be like, oh, I'm gonna bring this fucking, you know, box full of fucking pot brownies home to the missus tonight. We know that, like, this is the kind of shit that happens when you have legalized government theft, a la civil asset forfeiture.
Is the Constitution Party in any state? I know it's in mine. I'm not voting for the Constitution Party. Look, I have some standards, okay? I have some fucking standards.
Dude, we should look into the Constitution Party.
It sounds like the LARPiest thing ever.
Oh, it is.
Did you guys know there's also actually a socialist party in this country? I mean, wait, you want to join that one, Jay?
Is that Vosh's party? Yeah, dude.
No.
It's Vosh's Facebook page.
You know who the nominee is for that party, Jay? Howie Hawkins.
What? Oh, okay.
Wait. So he's not the face of, but, you know, like, one of the main people in like those kind of circles, like the socialists and the libertarians.
Let's have Vosh run for the socialist party, dude.
None of these YouTubers want to be fucking politicians.
I know. I know Kyle, Vosh, like, none of them want to be politicians. Dude, the shit that we do over here on YouTube, I don't think any of us could be fucking, like, politicians.
Yeah, I think the closest would be Jank Uger.
Oh, man, dude, Sank Huger, dude. That's fucking hilarious. All right, look at some of these other tweets.
I just want to say, too, like, there's a song called Sadie Hawkins that I fucking hate. And every time I hear Howie Hawkins, I hear that song in my head.
Why pretend to have a Q&A if you don't want to be questioned and don't want to offer answers? Newsflash, if you can't handle the questions in the green primary, the general election isn't any easier.
There's been a lot of accusations that this entire primary was rigged by Howie Hawkins. And here's the thing, like, the other guy who's running against, like, Howie Hawkins, like, the primary other person who the green nomination could have gone to, he's trying to shine a light on this, and he's really supporting a bunch of what these people have to say and bring a light to the fact that there's allegedly fucking corruption in the Green Party. He could be writing it just for attention and shit. It is kind of weird, like, there's clearly a rift forming in this party.
It's clear they don't even take this party seriously. At least the DNC tries to keep up the pretense of, yes, we are a political party and we have a democratic process, kind of. But this party is just like, at least the fucking DNC pretends. They're not even pretending. They're just like, yup, we're doing whatever we want. I mean, what? I feel like part of it is from, like, a reasoning of, hey, I mean, well, it's not like we're gonna get elected anyway, so who really cares what we do? You know, we can just do whatever we want. We'll make whoever we want the head of this party, and I feel like they're not taking this seriously. I feel like if they somehow got over 5%, or hell, if they somehow, like, won the presidency, what?
And that's sad. It's just sad how much the American left doesn't have their shit together at all. The third parties are putting their worst fucking forward for this historically bad election that they could have capitalized on big time.
That's the thing. Here's why I do kind of agree with the Jesse Ventura thing. Because, dude, if you wanted a candidate that actually would have had a fucking chance against Biden and Trump, it probably would have been someone like Jesse Ventura. I think he could have...
Ventura had a chance, yeah.
He might not have won. I think he could have gotten over 5%. People that are disillusioned with the current two-party system, I think he absolutely could have gotten a whole bunch of people on his side. And so from that perspective, I see why a lot of the Libertarian voters are really fucking frustrated and pissed, because it's like, especially if there's accusations of Howie Hawkins having rigged this. We wanted Jesse Ventura. He could have. They basically feel the same way that Bernie supporters feel. No, if you would have ran Bernie Sanders, he could have won.
Imagine if Bernie didn't even run and Bernie supporters were still as diehard as they fucking were.
The fact that the Green Party isn't taking this seriously, and the fact that it does seem like Howie was just anointed head of the Green Party, you know, I can kind of see why they're like, well, no, look, why are you just gonna put him at the head? If you're gonna do that, do it with someone who actually could fucking win. If you're just gonna give this nomination to someone, then just give it to someone that we actually want, that the American people might actually be able to get behind.
I actually want to bring this up because there's a huge difference between what's going on here with Howie Hawkins and Jesse Ventura and what happened in 2016. Jill Stein just came out like, you know what? Bernie Sanders wants to join the Green Party. He can be the candidate. I'll step down and be his vice president. Like, okay, well, that's a bold thing to come out and fucking say. So why can't Howie Hawkins come out and give the nomination to someone who's clearly got the better chance? If the Green Party nominations don't even fucking matter, at least come out and give the nomination to someone who's gonna fucking get some fucking votes behind them. I mean, imagine if Bernie did come out and support the Greens in 2016, they'd probably be on the debate stage this fucking year, without a doubt.
That was, by the way, that was the thing that made me think, okay, Jill Stein is actually a decent person. It was like, yeah, I will absolutely step down if Bernie Sanders comes in.
You remember hearing that, right?
Yeah, that showed that she was more interested in winning as a party than just her being president. Look at the next tweet. You can stop at the grandstanding. We all know you.
Well, this was something that was in an article about, like, I don't know how real this is. I've seen multiple Ventura fans come out and post this. We can read it and see what he has to say.
The role of the Green Party is not to spoil elections for the Democrats, the exact opposite, to ensure that they win. In my experience, I'm living in a congressional district where the only time a Democrat beat the Republicans since the Vietnam War was when a Green was in the race. And of course, we were told we're splitting the vote. So he's literally admitting he's not trying to win.
No, instead, he's helping out the...
What's the fucking point? How is this an alternative?
Basically, the argument he's trying to make here is that the Green Party makes the Democrats have to steer more towards the left. Because the Greens look so radical compared to them, it allows the Democrats to become less centrist.
They've been around for a long time, and I've yet to see any of that happen.
Yeah, giving themselves way too much fucking credit with that. I'm sorry, you are not taken seriously. The way you're acting isn't fucking helping. No one is taking you seriously. No one is looking to the Green Party to see, ooh, what does the Green Party think on this issue? Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, well, I guess we should all acquiesce to the Green Party. No one is behind you, motherfuckers. I'm sorry. Like, this is some really delusional fucking shit. Of course, we're told we're splitting the vote, but what we did was change the dynamic, and the Democrat, instead of trying to talk like the Republican light voters to get the middle, had to deal with us and our positions, and they made them sound a lot better. But that doesn't matter. You can make the Democrats spout all the left-wing rhetoric you want. It doesn't mean they're actually gonna do anything about it.
The fact that, like, we're all on social media talking about this, and the fact that you have these protests going on, and there's a constant evolution of, like, the ideas that the general populace hold, that, or Howie Hawkins and company fucking, you know, being in, like, one state and having, like, a percentage. I'm not even against Howie Hawkins. I don't give a fuck about him. I'm just kind of like, you don't get to take credit for any of that. Can't you just, like, use this as an argument against voting for him, or, like, anything he's involved in? Because it's like, oh, well, you know, his role is more about affecting, like, the party next to him.
That's why so many of these Jesse Ventura fans are hopping on this quote. And here's the thing, this is just gonna keep getting worse. This isn't gonna get any better for Howie Hawkins. The majority of his replies are fucking Jesse Ventura fans at this point.
Animancer, we lost the source. We lost the sauce.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Lost in the Sauce
By the way,
a little bit later.
He did say that. He said, don't get lost in the sauce of the Democrat Party. So he says that, but then he also says, yeah, we're not actually trying to win. We're trying to help the Democrats win. And he literally got lost in the sauce, dude. You're an idiot. You don't believe in your own fucking rhetoric. Okay, so he said, if you think healthcare is a right, you will support Medicare for all instead of promising to veto it. Last I checked, our campaign was the only one that actually supports healthcare as a right.
And that is true.
And that was to Joe Biden, saying healthcare is a right for all, not a privilege for the few. And I agree with that. If this is true, I don't feel like this is really helping. It is grandstanding. It's just like...
When Joe Biden says that, when he made that tweet, like, do you think it actually means anything outside of, like, hey, let's maintain the system we have, only, you know, make it slightly less shitty for the plebs who can't afford healthcare? These healthcare companies do whatever they can to, like, get out of paying any coverage. Constantly. They try to weasel their way out of paying. If you fucking pay them them constantly, every fucking time you're supposed to, and then one time it's like, hey, I've fallen on hard times. I find myself in financial dire stress, and I just can't fucking pay. They'll fucking hold you accountable for that one fucking time. Yeah, let's maintain that system. That's a good idea. So when Joe Biden says this shit, I don't believe it for a fucking second, because why should I?
You really think that you're gonna just pull Biden to the left on this? No. The only way to have this actually be enacted, the only way to get Medicare for all, I do think that the Senate could pass it, and I do think they could bully Biden into letting it get passed.
Yeah, they won't, though.
If Howie Hawkins actually wanted to make sure Medicare for all was a thing, he wouldn't be like, oh, let's just hope that we can convince the Democratic Party with our weak, limp-wristed fucking no influence whatsoever, and let's just try and influence them that way. Instead, you could be running and actually trying to win or trying to get over 5% or something. I'm sorry, the Green Party is a fucking joke.
Does Hulk Hogan stuff his tights?
He needs to.
His penis is too small.
I've seen him in the shower.
He's got a little penis.
Okay. I clicked on a random one and that played, but okay.
Part of the reason why I want to do this fucking episode is I came out with this very enthusiastic episode that we did where I was like, oh, you guys should consider going out and voting for a third party. Yeah. And consider voting for the Green Party too. And I still agree with a lot of shit that I talked about in that episode. I did a pretty good job on doing the research for that episode. It's still worth fucking watching. But I wanted to come out and do this episode because I just wanted to bring to light, because I've just seen this shit nonstop over the past few weeks. And I was originally very enthusiastic about voting for the Greens, and now I'm just like, I don't even know which third party I'm going to vote for. I know I'm going to go out and vote for a third party. I'm still undecided.
Hey, look at that, relevant people. Jesse Ventura. So let's get into this sauce shit. Can we please just get into that?
I just want to look at something real fast first. Let's look at a Jesse Ventura tweet and how much likes he gets on average.
Okay, here's how many followers Howie Hawkins has. Here's how many Jesse Ventura. He also has a better follower ratio. Look how many people Howie Hawkins is following. Jesse Ventura's smart, dude. He's got like a small little circle of people he's following.
I am selective.
Way more fucking followers, dude. What's one of his original tweets? Good. One word. Yeah, dude, one word, and it got him more than the average Howie Hawkins tweet.
Yeah, Howie had to like set up this like antagonistic tweet where it's like, nah. Dude, Ventura's just like, oh, good.
Here's the thing, man. Howie struggles to break 100 fucking likes.
If I retweet some like shitty fucking fan art, it's more fucking likes than that. So like, how can you tell me in all honesty that like Howie Hawkins is the way to go? Like, social media plays a huge role in any campaign. We're not in the fucking like 90s or 2000s anymore. Like, you have to have a social media presence.
We need someone who can actually get people excited. Someone with a fucking personality, goddammit.
I don't think voting fucking works. It's just total corruption. There's too much money and power involved. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna vote for something, don't expect it to actually have any effect. We know they lose votes all the time. Like, oops, truck full of votes just fucking vanished.
If the third parties weren't completely fucking incompetent, this wouldn't be an issue. They'd actually be able to grow their fucking bases during a shitty election like this and get more fucking voters, but they keep putting their worst fucking foot forward.
Well, it's not just the incompetence of this party. They're up against a system that is going to do anything in their power to prevent them from being dethroned.
The system is the bigger issue of them by far, but the fact that we can't even get enthusiastic about these third parties, like, I just want to get behind a third party because they're not the two main parties, and I want to get some fresh ideas in the system. Third parties can't even help but fucking tear themselves apart. There's not even that many fucking voters for them to do that, and they're
never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Let's get into the sauce. I hunger for the sauce.
Let's look at the sauce tweet.
Howie Hawkins is like, check out my interview with The Rising on Hill TV. He really likes to get lost in the sauce about his chances.
Yes!
Every time he says that he's got 5% in 2014 against Cuomo, what he doesn't say is that in 2018, he only got 1.7%, 80,000 less voters, chalking up his 24th electoral loss. I'll skip the sauce and stick with Governor Jay Ventura.
Howie Hawkins has run for office 24 times.
Just fucking, like, why? The more I hear about Howie Hawkins, the more I'm just kind of like, maybe not. Got lost in the sauce, man.
Don't get lost in the sauce of the Democratic Party, where a vote for Biden is a vote for Biden, and they don't know if you're a Sanders socialist or a Clintonista. Vote your values. A Clintonista? He said Clintonista, dude.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Hyun voted $5 and said if voting changed anything, it'd be illegal.
Dude, the Green Party is getting lost in the sauce.
He's literally getting lost in the fucking sauce. He's simping for the fucking Democratic Party. What the fuck? Dude, fuck Howie Hawkins.
When I told people I was considering voting Libertarian, everyone was like, whoa! I hope you guys understand now. Yo. He's smarter than your average bear.